Hey everyone, we're going to look under the hood at Lune and talk about all of the extra layers and all of the sort of Easter eggs that are hidden in it and everything under the hood of this song, because there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot sort of buried in it that I think will be really fun to share. From the writing perspective, the whole song is built off of that main guitar riff that I play at the very beginning. That fundamentally carries the whole song. It's playing pretty much the whole song in some form, in some capacity. There's a high, low, and then half notes that play the bottom note of the chord. So let's look at the first guitar line. And then here's the other one. When we blend those two, that higher one, I'm playing really high up on the fretboard because I like that it's really trebly. It sort of made a nice, mystical, almost like dreamy sound. So if you have seen us play this live, you know I'm really up high, and I just like kind of how the EQ sits up there. And then this bottom note is just a single pick that plays the bottom note of the chord. So let's jump into the verse. I'm going to omit the vocals for this. Right out of the gate, even on a subconscious level, we were trying to portray, paint the picture that we're in space and it's magical. So I have one synthesizer here that's playing like a textural thing that sort of just sounds like, floating through stars. And then some like sci-fi percussion that's extremely subtle. And then I think there's a cello here too. Yes. Let's add guitars. And then vocals.
Follow me into the night we go.
Moving into the pre-chorus now, if you are familiar with any of my music before Cloud9, you know I'm pretty heavy-handed with orchestra. I like things really big and cinematic. This kind of gives you a quick taste of that before it really goes off at the end. We really wanted a relatively specific sort of late 1800s, not quite Baroque sound from a technical standpoint, but just picture like a castle at nighttime in the late 1800s. So strings and piano that are a little bit on the darker side. A goal that I had with this song and the Cloud9 music that is on the horizon was to not use a real traditional acoustic drum kit at all. And then the challenge became, how do I create like really impactful percussion? So I came up with a blend of several different layers for this that consist of some weird world percussion and a few different electronic kits, as well as some bass synths and things like that. So the first chorus, I'll show you where we're at in the song just for context. This first one is the sci-fi kit that is from Massive by Native Instruments. It's kind of subtle, but I felt like it passively added some more of that like space, like sci-fi glitchy stuff, whether the listener like actively notices it or not. There's some type of, magical machinery going on. At least that's what I hope to accomplish. Next, this is a weird one, but it ended up working well. There is a whole ensemble of Indian percussion that is playing this. These are two different bass synths. They're an octave apart. One is handling more the sub frequency. They're playing the kick pattern, but the bottom note of the chord. So it adds a little more of that chord progression. You feel a little bit more of the chord changes while adding some impact in the low end too. So here, what those are doing. Lastly, the finishing touch was just a traditional, it's like the stock Logic 808 kit to get that kind of pop drum beat with the claps and the 808 hi-hat and stuff. So here is the percussion in the Lune chorus complete. I actually forgot about this now that I'm looking at it. There's an ocarina in here. I like Zelda a lot, and I think it's a really cool sound. So if we strip down to just the strings, we'll get rid of everything in the chorus except that ocarina. There's a little bell type synth that I kind of use on everything for the most part that's playing a little arpeggiated thing. Let's listen to what that's doing. All right, so our big epic bridge that Cait just murders on vocals. There's so many layers. It's so big. We really let the orchestra kind of shine on this part too. So we have a lot going on. I'll show you where we're at in the song, and then we'll strip down to just the orchestration. Let's listen to just the orchestra on the bridge. Let's add Cait's vocals in. This last chorus is where everything kind of rips in terms of the orchestration. So let me show you where we're at in context here. Go down to just the orchestra again. Here's where we're at. Cait is just mind-blowing in the studio. She nails stuff extremely fast. And it doesn't take a lot of work. The vocal chain that we use is that Neumann 49 up there, and that's going into the Neve 1073 preamp, which is going into the Audioscape 1176D for any gear people who might be interested in that. That's a monster chain that I'm just thrilled with, and I feel like it was doing 75% of the work with the mix. Let's listen to just Cait's verse, just the vocals.
Follow me into the night we go.
That little, that echoing second line, I thought a telephone effect would be cool just because I wanted to fill every crevice of space in the song with some type of like textural or stylistic thing that would really make it feel full and hit in an impactful way. I love these sort of theater harmonies. So leading into the pre-chorus, we have 8 layers. Leading into the chorus, we have 8 layers here. Let's listen to those by themselves. And then we've got 8 harmonies in the chorus too. We tend to do a better job when we improv the harmonies on the spot rather than pre-planning them. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it feels like it works for us now. So here's what we landed on as far as our vocal stack.
In the moonlight, I'm caught up in ecstasy. Feel the starlight.
Let's add the main in.
My veins, I don't wanna take my time. Shining lights will paint the sky. Our fantasy. Catch me if you can.
So that little delay on the Catch Me If You Can was another just kind of textural space filling thing. I did that with, yes, Valhalla. Quartz mode, future era. Let's listen to that by itself.
Catch me if you catch me, if you catch me, if you catch me.
So they're panning left and right, so it sounds like she's kind of echoing around your head. Again, just trying to really drill home the floating around in space idea. And then we have to listen to the bridge.
If this is all just a dream, please never wake me.
This last section where we're both singing was actually really hard to blend. I have a really just loud, abrasive, kind of sandpapery voice, and Cait's is very angelic and delicate. So it was tough to get them into a position where I felt like they were complementary to each other. But let's listen to the last chorus with just our vocals.
Oh, in the moonlight, I'm caught up in ecstasy. I feel the starlight.
I think what I ended up doing on this was I got rid of 3 layers of my own harmonies to kind of open up space for hers. So I left all 8 of hers and then I only used 4 of mine. So we went down to half on that. And then this is all of the kind of callback and echo stuff, if I remember correctly. So let's listen to that by itself.
Catch me if you can. Oh, in the moonlight.
If we look at the vocals on my verse, that swell in that I did, here's what that sounds like by itself.
Follow me, bring harmony.
So there's actually just a whispering layer, which is kind of corny by itself, but I actually like what it added to the main vocal. So if we get rid of just my lead, here's what's going on behind that. Super lame by itself. Similar stack. I actually think I sang the same harmonies that Cait did for this chorus. So let's check out just the harmonies I have by themselves.
In the moonlight, I'm caught up in ecstasy. Feel the starlight. So
then we'll add the mains in.
my veins. I don't wanna take my time. Shining lights will paint the sky. Our fantasy. Catch me if you can.